So the Mavericks removed a fan after an incident with Chris Paul's family. Paul tweeting after the Game 4 in Dallas, want to find players for saying stuff to the fans, but the fans can put hands on our families. Bump that. Paul's mom, wife, and 2 children watched the game close to the Suns bench, and his mom had hands put on her, and his wife was pushed, a source telling our Dave McMenamin, adding that Paul's kids were there to witness it all. Dallas said in a statement that its unacceptable behavior will not be tolerated by the Mavericks, along with American Airlines Center swiftly removing the fan from the game. Stephen A.
Well, let me say one thing off the bat.
Okay.
That tweet by Chris Paul was actually inaccurate. Who said they can put hands on their fans? The fan was removed from the arena immediately. The Dallas Mavericks quickly addressed the situation. Clearly, it's not allowed. And so the point is that, you know, when you make a statement like that with respect to the former president of the Players Association, who is universally respected, particularly his brilliance, his acumen, the fact of the matter is that there isn't a fan in today's NBA that can get away with doing something and they know it and they don't do something about it. We saw the great LeBron James, who never, ever did this in his career, literally walk over and pointed out a fan to security and had that fan removed. We saw somebody stupidly try to do something to Russell Westbrook, and they found out who that fan was, and they had him removed. We saw another fan do something in Utah as it pertained to Russell Westbrook, and that was addressed. And so let's be very, very clear. There are absolutely, positively a few stupid, idiotic fans. That looked like a kid, and that's really no excuse. You're old enough to know better. Somebody, his parents should slap him upside his head and get him to act right because he embarrassed their name by acting like a fool, all right? But he was removed from the game. But by and large, you have most fans who know better and act better. Now, in defense of the NBA players like Chris Paul and others, there are fans that get out of control. And I'm not talking, they never do anything physically because they know better, because you ain't gonna do things to these guys' face. You do it while you're in the stands and stuff like that because you know you're insulated and protected, at least from physical harm from these guys. But that's given them a license to do things that they shouldn't be doing. There are things that no player, no professional athlete should be subjected to. And I am an advocate, not in this particular case. Again, if he put his hands on somebody, arrest is behind. And the last part that I want to say is this, as it pertains to defense of Chris Paul, because people were looking at him at the press conference and he was talking to people, he didn't seem focused or whatever. Let me tell y'all something. God rest her wonderful soul. If somebody ever had put their hands on my mother, there is no laws. I'll think about the law later. I'm going to look to do something to you. That's just not happening. And so when you talk about family members, your mother, your wife, your children, all of a sudden, all this other stuff is not, that takes second place. You got to deal with them. And if that kid had actually done something, you know what? I would have been a proponent of him getting his ass whipped right there at the arena. Because who you think you are touching somebody?
You remember when Antonio Davis went up in the stands?
I didn't blame him.
Because somebody was messing with his wife?
I didn't blame him.
Yeah. You know, it really is unfortunate that this happened. And I agree with you. Look, there's a sentiment amongst a very small percentage of fans that because I paid a lot of money for my tickets and I'm sitting close to the court, I can say whatever I want and do whatever I want with no recourse. And by and large, there is recourse every single time. You know, whether Chris's tweet was accurate or not, you brought up a perfect point. Whether it was the press conference or this tweet, the emotions that he must have felt to hear and see someone messing with his mother, his wife, in front of his kids, there's just no place for it. There's just no place for it.
And go into protective mode. Yeah.
That's right.
Exactly. Exactly. All logic, all rationale goes out the window.
It goes out the window.
Yeah.
It goes out the window, especially when it comes to your family. And in particular, let's be real. Any decent man is going to feel that way, but especially when it comes to their mama.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to their mama.
Yeah.
On Mother's Day.
Yeah.
On Mother's Day.
And his
I mean,
wife,
come on.
Of course.
Thank Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.